If you want to know how much the average American has saved in their 401k or a benchmark for how much you should have in your retirement, I have got the most recent numbers for you today. Hey there, I'm Brittany Flammer, a financial coach with videos all about budgeting and money saving tips for you and your family. The numbers I've got for you today are from a study Vanguard did on almost 5 million accounts. The study they did included defined contribution plans. This could include 401k, 403b, 457, some IRAs, employee stock ownership options. It could include a lot of things. 401k is the most common, and that's what most people know. So I am going to use the term 401k, although it could include all of those. This study is 115 pages long. I have read through it. There's lots of interesting information. So today I'm just going to include a few key points and numbers, as well as the average and median 401k balance by age. Whew! With that very long intro, here are some of the very interesting numbers from the report. The average 401k balance across the board is over $112,000, while the median balance is just over $27,000. There's a discrepancy between these two because there are a very few accounts with large balances that throw off the average. You can see on the chart here, those making over $250,000 kind of skew the average. So I'm going to share average and median. Also interesting to note, averages are down by almost 20% from the year before. The average stock market return for the year was negative almost 16%. That being said, for those that had accounts in 2027, that still had them in 2022 and were contributing, their median balance rose by 70%. The average employer match is 4.5%. Now some employers will match 100% up to a certain percentage and then 50% up to a certain percentage. They vary a little bit, but overall the standard average is 4.5%. Average contribution rate, including employee and employer match, is 11.3%. That's a little bit scary to me because most experts recommend at least 15%. Some recommend closer to 20 or 25%. Also important to keep in mind that these numbers might not include everything set aside for retirement. If you've changed jobs, you could have more than one 401k, or maybe you do have a pension. Now on to what you actually want, the average and median 401k balance by age. If you are under 25, the average 401k balance is a little over $5,000, while the median is just under $2,000. Now this makes total sense because you're just getting started. You're young, so you haven't had much time to contribute. You probably aren't making very much, so you haven't had very much you can contribute. Makes perfect sense. If you're interested in seeing a 401k balance by income, I'll have a video at the end playing right up there based on income as opposed to age. Moving on to the next category, 25 to 34-year-olds. Average balance is just over $30,000, while the median is $11,357. There are a lot of retirement benchmarks out there, Fidelity, T. Rowe, Charles Schwab. A lot of them have benchmarks so you can see how you are doing. I will share one with you. This is Fidelity's. They're all very similar but not exact. Fidelity says that at age 30, you should have 1 times your salary saved for retirement. So if you make $25,000 a year when you're 30 years old, you should have $25,000 saved for retirement. It's just a benchmark, not perfect, but to give you an idea of how you're doing. Now moving on to 35 to 44-year-olds. The average 401k balance is over $76,000, while the median's just over $28,000. If you're following the benchmark, at 40 years old, you should have 3 times your salary saved. So if you're making $25,000 a year when you're 40, you should have $75,000 saved for retirement. I am not 100% convinced on the benchmarks. If you want another better indicator, I'll share that with you in just a sec. For ages 45 to 54, the average 401k balance is just over $142,000, while the median is just over $48,000. According to the benchmark, at age 50, you should have 6 times your annual salary. So you probably would have had a raise and would not be making $25,000 anymore, but for the sake of simplicity and my ability to do math on demand, if you're making $25,000 a year, 6 times that is $150,000 you should have saved. I'm not 100% convinced on these benchmarks. I do like the Millionaire Next Door has a formula for wealth accumulation that encompasses your age, your income, and it's your wealth in general, your net worth, not just your retirement. If you're interested in that, put a comment down below, and I would be happy to do more on that. Okay, moving on, 55 to 64. The average 401k balance is almost $208,000, while the median is just over $71,000. Benchmark for someone age 60, they should have 8 times their salary saved for retirement. Now, moving on to the 65 plus age bracket, average 401k balance, almost $233,000, while the median is $70,600. The benchmark for the age of 67, you should have 10 times your salary saved. If you want to see those 401k balances by income, check out that video right over there. Otherwise, let me know how you're doing with your 401k balance in the comments down below. Thanks so much for watching. See you in the next video.